Good morning, Cooper Academy. Welcome to another edition of Breaking News. And now here's your host, coming to you live from the office, Mr. Perez. Good morning, and welcome to the second edition of Breaking News here at Cooper Academy. My name is Mr. Perez, and I'm your Vice Principal. And I have the opportunity to lead you through our second edition of Breaking News. Today, it should be Tuesday, and you should be in your organizational success period or advisory. I'm glad you could be here this morning because here on Breaking News is where we tackle the serious, hard-hitting issues that we are working through to build a successful and positive culture here at Cooper Academy. We have this episode is filled with 5 different segments. Yes, I said it, 5 different segments that are going to be very important for you to pay attention. Remember, during Breaking News, the expectation is that you're on a voice level 0. That means no talking. And you should be showing us that you are paying attention to the video and looking at the screen at this time with your mouths closed. It's a new month. It's a new backdrop. Thank you, Miss Linchoni. It's a new do. And it's also an opportunity for us to learn about our new learner profile for this month. So we're going to go over a few things. This episode's going to go over our electronics policy. So what do we do and how do we use electronics on this campus? We'll also have a segment called IB Me and You Be You. But IB Me is a segment we're going to learn more about what it means to be an IB school. Why do we say IB here? We'll also have our Cougar Culture segment where you may find yourself on the camera because I took some live footage out at Club Rush this week. So you may see yourself, if you were out at Club Rush, you may see you or your friends getting involved in something positive here on our campus. We also are going to be recognizing our staff member of the month. So staff, make sure you're paying attention. It could be you. You could be the person who is a staff member of the month for the month of September. We will see. All right, at the very end, we're also going to wrap it up by reviewing how to fill out our agendas to be ready for a tutorial that's going to happen on Thursday and Friday. That means there has to be some preparation that happens on Tuesday and Wednesday in order for you to be successful on Thursday and Friday. So let's get this show on the road and let's get to our first segment on our electronics policy. I'll be right back. Electronic policies, what are those? Yes, it's very important. Yeah, it's extremely important. I said I want extra pepperoni on my pizza. I will count them. There better be 48 slices of pepperoni on that pizza. Oh! Hold on one second. I was on my phone. Some very important business here at Cooper Academy. One question that students have for me, and students, they write me questions, they drop them off here in my office. A question to me was, Dear Mr. Perez, what is our electronics policy? I hear that you can use your phone anytime you like. Wrong. If you have your agenda, we have an electronics policy here because even though our phones, our tablets, our PSPs, our Game Boy Advance, whatever you wanted, whatever Nintendo is coming out with lately, can be very distracting to the learning environment. So we set policies here at Cooper Academy to ensure that your learning is happening and that you're not distracted while you're here on campus. Now, we're going to review that electronics policy today and talk about what the expectations are for you and what can happen if you violate one of those electronic policies here on campus. Remember, our agenda is something that we're going to use and we can check out and look at all throughout this school year. It carries all of our codes and policies. It's our handbook that will give you directions and guidelines of how to be successful here at Cooper Academy. It just happens the answer to that question about electronics policy is actually here found on page 4 in your student agenda. So if you ever want to refer to it, you can just open that up to page 4. I'm going to read our electronics policy, okay, real quick. Electronic devices may not be used at any time before, during, or after school, including passing periods, at lunch, or during after-school programs. That includes cell phones, music players, headphones, or any other electronic devices will be immediately confiscated by staff and taken to the main office if they are out and visible. Now, when you come to the gates, obviously, some of you have cell phones that are really nice, that you parents have bought for you, that you earn money cutting grass all summertime long to earn. And I'm not going to check you as you walk through the gates and go through your pockets or go through your bag and look for your phones as you come on campus. These are a very important tool for safety. Some of you guys walk home. Some of you need to call your mom. I only love my bed and my mama, I'm sorry. Whatever you're doing, you need to be in contact with your parents. So I understand the importance of these phones. However, when we come on campus, phones and electronic devices should not be visible to adults. So, for instance, you can have the cell phone, but the cell phone needs to go into your pocket and out of sight. It also needs to be put on silent so that when you are in class, you don't hear that little buzzing sound that sounds like you have a little baby cow in your pocket. So it's not going in the middle of your lesson, in the middle of your English lesson, in the middle of your math lesson. Because that can be distracting to the learning of you and also distracting to the learning of others. Okay? Kind of like my hair. So we want to make sure that you have these cell phones put away in your pocket. Now, let's say by chance you know that you forgot to lock the door to your house, and it's very important that you call for the safety of your family and our family that you get in contact with your mom. Now, we do have a phone here located up in the front office that you can come up and use if you just ask for permission at a time that is, going to be good for you and for your teacher. You can come up and use that phone here in the front office. Before or after school, it's also available at that front window. You just dial 9 and then dial your phone number. But if you have your phone and you need to make an emergency call, we ask that you tell your teacher or adult that's out the nearest to you, you ask them politely, "Hello, Mr. Perez. Can I use my cell phone right now? I need to call." And then you make your phone call, and they may say yes. They may say, "Hold on one moment, not at this time. You need to wait," or "I need to go up to the front office." But they may give you some directions of when you can use it. And when you use it, that means you call home. "Hey, Mom. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, I left the door unlocked. Can you lock it for me, please?" And then you hang up that phone, and then you put it back away, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. The problem is that these phones have a lot of tools to make you get distracted. Apps, social media, someone liking your photo that you just took, the selfie you just took of yourself, okay? That is going to distract you from learning. And that's not why we're here. We're here to learn, okay? We're not here to be distracted by phones or other electronics, because electronics can be very distracting, okay? Now, if your phone happens to be out, let's say you took your phone out, even to check the time. I have students who tell me, "Oh, well, I was just checking my time, Mr. Perez, what time it was. I wasn't checking the message that my friend just sent me on Instagram." If your phone is visible to adults, there's a good chance that it will be confiscated. That means taken to the front office, signed into the front, and your parents have to come pick it up if it's out and visible without getting a teacher's or an adult's permission here on campus. that causes a problem because that means that your parent has to come into the office and pick up that phone. Now, if it becomes a serious habit of yours where you always have your phone out, you may be banned. That's right, banned from bringing any electronic device here on campus because you've abused our policy and violated our expectations. And so we want to make sure we're trying to help you make good choices so you can stay on task. Electronics can be very, very, very distracting here on campus. Students sometimes when they come on campus, they tell me, I see them walking down the hallway with their phone in their hand. As soon as that bell rings, around 3:45, I see them walking down the hallway with their phone. Remember, even when the bell rings, as long as you're still on campus, you should not have your cell phone or device out, okay? If you want to call when you get outside the gate, if you want to come up here and use the phone, that's fine. But it seems like before and after school, and even during after school program, people think the policy changes. It doesn't. Now, if a teacher asks you, hey, Mr. Perez, the teacher tells the students, you can use your phone right now to look up the definition of fabulous because Mr. Perez's hair is so fabulous in the month of September, then that's fine. But as soon as you're done looking up fabulous and what it means to be fabulous, and you see my picture there when you look up the word fabulous, make sure that you then put that phone away and use it only for school-approved activities. All right. People say, well, Mr. Perez, do you get distracted by electronics? And I'm going to say, yeah, I carry this talking bass around, and it does distract me from learning. All right. So don't worry, be happy. Make sure that you are following our electronics policy because I don't want to take away your phone here at Cooper Academy. Keep it in your pocket, use it the right way, be responsible. Coming up next, our news segment. I be me, 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 I be me. All right, welcome back to our new segment, I Be Me.
I Be Me.
I Be Me, that's right. And we have a special guest here. I want to welcome, with a nice round of applause, Miss Jane Day, our IB coordinator.
We can do the wave.
Round of applause.
Okay, round of applause.
All right, so you're an expert in IB. I'm still learning. I'm new to this school.
All right.
But you're the expert.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit of history about being what does it mean to be International Baccalaureate? Where did that come from? Because we all know that these cougars who are out there in their advisory right now, they're part of this IB school.
This whole international field.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
So to try to boil it down to just conciseness, IB originated, 50 to 60 years ago as a means of educating diplomat children. Stop and think. In Switzerland, if you were, say, a diplomat to a foreign country, you have all these people coming from all these different countries. Where are you going to send your kid to school?
I don't know.
Okay. So that's where International Baccalaureate came and kind of started, was a means of educating all these students that came from all over the country. How do I make sure that what I'm teaching to, say, your child that's coming from America is as relevant to this child whose parents are coming, say, from Japan or China? And that's the international piece. So it was an international school that then, because it was so student-centered and inquiry-based, kind of started going, oh, this must be the best way to educate students.
Fantastic. Well, that kind of gives me a short little history of that. What does it mean today? Let's say someone goes through this IB program here in the middle years program here at Cooper Academy, and then they transition on to Fresno High School and decide to go through that path. What does that mean for them? Why would a student want an IB education rather than a regular just pathway here at Fresno Unified?
I'm going to give you two answers because
Sure.
I always like more than one answer.
Sure.
The first option is it opens up higher education doors.
Ooh,
Okay?
I like doors that open up.
Doors that open up are good.
Yeah.
We're looking at college, both college and career. We're looking at opportunities and options. If you go on and you get your IB diploma from Fresno High, you are jump-starting your college career. You are actually getting college credit. You are starting, instead of starting as a freshman at a university, you may be starting as a sophomore.
Wow.
So
they're a
that's
little
the
more
reason,
advanced.
number one. But number two, even if, number two, okay, even if you decide that you're not going for the diploma, you're going the career track, or you make other, you're going a different way, the education that you get in an IB environment where it's actually putting the student first and making you make connections makes your learning just that much higher. Which then, when you're out in the, what I like to call the real world,
Oh yeah, out there.
out there, we're there. Hi guys. When you're out there, you're actually making connections to real life situations. We're not just looking at history 200 years ago. We're looking at how those things affect the now.
Fantastic. You know, in the student agendas, each month you will hear us talk about a learner profile trait that's important to our school and to the value of an IB education.
How many are there?
That's a good question for me. That's a good quiz. There's 10.
Yes.
10 IB learner profiles. I know what the first month was in August.
Okay.
It was knowledgeable. I do know that because I'm knowledgeable.
You are knowledgeable.
But we're now in September, and
New
so
one.
we have a new one. The new IB learner profile focus for this month is being principled.
And I know, I can tell by the look on your face, that you're thinking, I have got this
I
down.
got it. I can be a vice principal.
No, it's not P-A-L.
Oh.
It's actually P-E-L on
Oh.
the end. Principled. Now, you are a principal
Yes.
who is principled.
Yes.
And being principled, I guess, to me, the easiest way to boil this down is you do the right thing even when nobody's watching. Okay?
That's deep.
It's always easy to do the right thing when somebody's watching.
Sure.
But when nobody's watching, are you doing the right thing? When it would be easy, say, for you to pick up that perfectly graded test that doesn't have a name on it, and put your name on it.
Ooh. No, that's not being
No,
principled.
that's not being principled.
No.
Being principled is doing the right thing and nobody's watching.
Fantastic. You know, these students here at Cooper Academy are going to have an opportunity to live out that principal trait every single day here at Cooper Academy. If certain students need some help with that or understanding what it means to be principled, teachers, I'm going to put it back on you right now. I want to make sure that you are helping students make principled choices throughout Cooper Academy because it's our job to help guide them along this IB journey. Well, Ms. Day, our segment is pretty much wrapping up. Do you have anything you want to share with the students of Cooper Academy about International Baccalaureate?
No, I think we've done good. I think we can continue on. If you see somebody being principled, call them out on it. Tell them. That's
yes.
a good thing to be.
You know what, teachers, there are some hero cards, or
Good idea.
you've been caught following our learner profile of the month. So if you know of a student who's living a principled life, I want you to go ahead and give them that little ticket and make sure that they know that you recognize them being principled. Can we do some foreshadowing? I hear next month we're going to be talking about ATL skills. I know you're excited to talk about that.
ATL skills, there's 5, just like you have 5 fingers. Now,
Oh, yes, I do.
stop and think. How many learner profile traits were there?
10,
And now how many ATL skills?
5.
So, you know, as long as you have both your hands,
Okay.
you can keep track of all these. So, here's the foreshadowing. If you can remember that you've got 5 fingers, you can master every skill that you are going to need for the rest of your life.
Wow. Well, Ms. Day, thank you so much for your informative IB Me section. I look forward to doing this next month, and we'll be back with some great information. And we'll also be back coming to you live here from my office. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next segment.
See ya.
All right, coming up next, we have our Educator of the Month. Stay tuned to see who's the big winner. All right, welcome back to one of our final segments of this morning. It's where I have the pleasure of announcing who our employee or staff member is who's going to be the staff member of the month. This is someone who goes beyond the call of duty because we have tons of excellent, well-qualified people who deserve this recognition, but there could only be one a month. So this person stood out, this adult here on campus stood out above everyone else this month. And that person, who is our employee, staff employee of the month, is Miss Kabina Parker. That's right, I said Miss Kabina Parker. Miss Kabina Parker, you might find her out in B3 Well, let me get her picture up. Okay, is her picture up? All right, that picture was when she had first started teaching many, many years ago. And so I know she's going to love that I posted her picture of when she was a young, brand new teacher out of the box. So the reason why she was nominated is people were able to write things about her. One staff member in particular on the nomination form wrote that Miss Parker was so welcoming and so caring and so loving to this new teacher who just joined our staff. And that seems to be a pattern of Miss Kabina Parker. I can tell you that's the truth. A student also wrote that when I had a problem, let me get the paper out. When I had a problem here on campus during the first week and I was crying, Miss Kabina Parker was the first person that was able to give me a hug and comfort me and tell me that things were going to be all right. That, my friend, sums up what it means to be an employee of the month here, a staff member of the month here at Cooper Academy. Miss Parker, you're a caring, loving soul, not just for the adults here on campus, but also our students. Congratulations to you. If you see Miss Parker, she's usually hanging out in B3. She has her desk there. If you see her, you tell her congratulations on being our staff member of the month. Congratulations, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for our Cougar Campus Culture Corner. Try saying that 3 times fast. All right, welcome back. We have a very important segment called Cougar Campus Culture, where it's an opportunity to highlight some of the cool things that are going on here on our campus that you're choosing to get involved in. Now, under our Cougar Creed, our G stands for Go Big. Well, I can tell you that on Friday, many of you went big. You had to go big by signing up for clubs and activities that we have here going on our campus. Now, what you didn't realize is that when you and your 4 friends walked up to that booth and signed up for ukulele club, folklorico, chess club, Fortnite club, that you were actually increasing your chances and your likelihood of being successful on the academic side, but also on the behavior side. So what the research shows, what the science shows, is that when students get involved in positive things here on campus, they are more likely to be successful in the classroom and have more positive interactions with adults on campus and also students on campus. Yes, you. I believe in you. I'm so glad that you joined Folklorico, because I can tell you can dance really well. And so when you were doing that on Friday, you were choosing to go big and choosing to be a part of this positive campus culture we have here at Cooper Academy. So I'm going to get to the footage without further ado and see if you can see yourself out there signing up, getting involved in something positive at Club Rush. I will be right back.
Here we go. It's a video. Alright. A video. Yeah. Yeah. down your ID number. Don't write down your ID number. Uh-oh.
Wow, Club Rush was absolutely amazing. Now it's time to wrap it all up. All right, welcome back. That was some wonderful footage out there at Club Rush. I just wanted to wrap up our session kind of reviewing what we went over today. Number one, we went over our electronics policies. So the bottom line is, guys, we shouldn't have our phones or other electronics that may distract us out in full view for everybody. They should be put away until you are off campus. We also went through our IB Me section where you learned about what it means to be principled and what it means to be an IB student here at Cooper Academy. We also recognized you, those of you who are out at Club Rush getting involved in something positive. Good job. Give me a high five. Beep. Good job. Way to get involved. We also recognized Miss Kabina Parker for being our wonderful staff member of the month. Great job, Miss Kabina Parker. Congratulations. And I just wanted to say that this last section is going to be where you're going to need some help from your teacher. For the last 5 to 10 minutes of advisory, we're going to review what it means to fill out your agenda so that you're prepared for tutorial on Thursday and Friday. That means you're going to need to write in what classes you need some help in or where you plan on going during our tutorial, during our success period, because that's an opportunity for you to get the help that you need and for teachers to give you the help that they want to give you, because they're here to support you so that you can have a successful experience here at Cooper Academy. Once again, thank you so much. Thanks you to Miss Linchoni for setting up this beautiful lighting that got my hair just right for this segment of breaking news. Thank you all for putting up with my antics and my craziness, and I can't wait to see you on another edition next month of October for another edition of Breaking News. All right, let's have a great day, and as always, go Cougar!